Hi. Hello. There's my classic jump of the chair. How's everybody? It's me. I don't have my glasses on. How's everybody doing? Good? Good. This is Frankenstein Tea, a daily short story program for adult listeners. I am not a Zoom expert, so I never look great, huh? Ugh. But anyway, here I am to read you a short story. And I read a different story every day, and I try to diversify the stories, although I'm on a little bit of a roll of holiday stories. And Hanukkah started yesterday, and we are in Hanukkah now. And so I thought I would read a Hanukkah story today. Now, let's hope I can get through it because, it may have a little bit of sadness in it. But I did just skim it, and I think it's a beautiful sadness. So I think I can read it successfully. I'm going to try. Let's see, today is Friday, December 11th, 2020. This story is, what's this story called? The First Hanukkah Light in Bergen-Belsen. In Bergen-Belsen, on the eve of Hanukkah, a selection took place. Early in the morning, 3 German commandants, meticulously dressed in their festive black uniforms and in visibly high spirits, entered the men's barracks. They ordered the men to stand at the foot of their 3-tiered bunk beds. The selection began. No passports were required. No papers were checked. There was no roll call and no head count. One of the 3 commandants just lifted the index finger in his snow-white glove and pointed in the direction of a pale face, while his mouth pronounced the death sentence with one single word: come. Like a barrage of machine gun fire came the Germans' commands. Come, 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 come. The men selected were marched outside. SS men with rubber truncheons and iron prods awaited them. They kicked, beat, and tortured the innocent victims. When the tortured body no longer responded, the revolver was used. The random selection went on inside the barracks, and the brutal massacre continued outside of the barracks until sundown. When the Nazi Black Angels of Death departed, they left behind heaps of hundreds of tortured and twisted bodies. Then Hanukkah came to Bergen-Belsen. It was time to kindle the Hanukkah lights. A jug of oil was not to be found. No candle was in sight, and a Hanukkah belonged to the distant past. Instead, a wooden clog, the shoe of one of the inmates, became a Hanukkah. Strings pulled from a concentration camp uniform, a wick, and the black camp shoe polish, pure oil. Not far from the heaps of the bodies, the living skeletons assembled to participate in the kindling of Hanukkah lights. The rabbi of Blusov lit the first light and chanted the first 2 blessings in his pleasant voice, and the festive melody was filled with sorrow and pain. When he was about to recite the 3rd blessing, he stopped, turned his head, and looked around as if he were searching for something. But immediately he turned his face back to the quivering small lights, and in a strong, reassuring, comforting voice, chanted the 3rd blessing. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us alive and hast preserved us and enabled us to reach this season. Among the people present at the kindling of the lights was a Mr. Zamachowski, one of the leading of the Warsaw Bund. He was a clever, sincere person with a passion for discussing matters of religion, faith, and truth. Even here in camp at Bergen-Belsen, his passion for discussion did not abate. He never missed an opportunity to engage in such a conversation. As soon as the rabbi of Blushov had finished the ceremony of kindling the lights, Zamachowski elbowed his way to the rabbi and said, "Spira, you are a clever and honest person. I can understand your need to light Hanukkah candles in these wretched times. I can even understand the historical note of the second blessing. Who wrought us miracles for our fathers in days of old at this season. But the fact that you recited the third blessing is beyond me. How could you thank God and say, Blessed art thou, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, who has kept us alive and has preserved us and enabled us to reach this season? How could you say it when hundreds of dead Jewish bodies are literally lying within the shadows of the Hanukkah lights? When thousands of living Jewish skeletons are walking around in camp and millions more are being massacred? For this you are thankful to God? For this you praise the Lord? This you call keeping us alive? Zamachowski, you are 100% right, answered the rabbi. When I reached the third blessing, I also hesitated and asked myself, what should I do with this blessing? I turned my head in order to ask the rabbi of Zanir and other distinguished rabbis who were standing near me if indeed I might recite the blessing. But just as I was turning my head, I noticed that behind me a throng was standing, a large crowd of living Jews, their faces expressing faith, devotion, and concentration as they were listening to the rite of the kindling of the Hanukkah lights. I said to myself, if God, blessed be he, has such a nation that at times like these, when during the lighting of the Hanukkah lights, they see in front of them the heaps of bodies of their beloved fathers, brothers, and sons, and death is looking from every corner. If despite all that, they stand in throngs and with devotion listening to the Hanukkah blessing, who wrought us miracles for our fathers in days of old at this season. If indeed I was blessed to see such a people with so much faith and fervor, then I am under a special obligation to recite the third blessing. Some years after liberation, the rabbi of Blushov, now residing in Brooklyn, New York, received regards from Mr. Zamachowski. Zamachowski asked the son of the Skabiner rabbi to tell Israel Spira, the rabbi of Blushov, that the answer he gave him that dark Hanukkah night in Bergen-Belsen has stayed with him ever since and was a constant source of inspiration during hard and troubled times. That short story was based on a conversation of the Grand Rabbi of Blushov, Rabbi Israel Singer, with Aaron Frankel and Barak Singer, June 22nd, 1975. I heard it at the rabbi's house. Hi, Deb. All right. Hanukkah story for today, Friday, December 11th. Share that with others who may enjoy that story. Remember your blessings. I hope it finds this episode finds you health and safely at your home. We had a spectacular day here on Block Island. Really, really very warm and sunny. Although there were moments of gray, but it's still warm. It's not hot, but it is December. If you're on Block Island, come to the library tomorrow. We're going to have our winter market, our annual craft and vendor event, and it's going to be outside on our front lawn, so you can feel safe about coming out and shopping and supporting your local community of excellence. So we'll see you tomorrow if you're on Block Island, and if you're not, Dad, we'll see you soon. And I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, the event will be over, and I'll read tomorrow at 3. Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming. Peace.